Gasoline is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors. I'm Michael Curson, producer, creator of Gasoline. Hope you enjoy. Coming up on tonight's episode...
Tell us about the engine, tell us about the internals and what sort of power she makes.
It probably makes about 500 horsepower. It's got stroker kit, 347, SRP pistons, Crower cam.
The new Shelby was made for the track.
Starting from these fuel cells that are available in raw or black anodised, these are also anodised inside fully for compatibility with E85 and alcohol use.
Well, we're with Perry Mecca and his awesome looking 65 Mustang here. Mate, this thing looks like a wild ride. Tell us all about it.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's got a Hemi in it. We put the two blowers on it. It's got the 861 on the top and 871 below. So yeah, to obviously pull the boost up, and just fitted with the nitro and the airbag. So should have some fun the next couple of months. Should be good.
So she's a runner, mate. She's not display.
No display, mate. We drove in, we'll drive out. Don't worry about that, mate. Yeah, well, I wanted to make it a driver, so it's tweaked just to drive around at the minute. But I'll put some wheelie bars on it and parachute, and then tweak it up a bit, and we'll send it down the track, have some fun. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, mate, because normally cars of this calibre, you don't see them on the strip. They just show them and that's about it.
No, mate, no. I don't mind I'll show it, because it's obviously, if they want me to go, I'll show it, but I want to drive it, mate. I definitely want to drive it, yeah.
Any sort of estimations on power figures?
We've had it on the dyno. We end up getting 1,200 horse without the nitro, so should get a couple hundred extra out of the nitro. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. I don't know if we can get high eights, low eights on the quarter, we'd be pretty happy. Yeah. Awesome.
And what trans and rear end are you running?
Yeah, we're running 9-inch in the back, and we've got the C4 in it. So the turbo 400. Sorry. So yeah, we've set it up. I've set it up, so I want to run it. I want to drag it. So, but in saying that, also at the moment, I don't mind driving around. It doesn't overheat. It's all set up so we can drive it. Yeah.
Fantastic, mate. That's what I call a fantastic all-round piece of machinery. Good job, mate. Did you build the car yourself?
Gary Myers built the car. He does the Burnout King Gary, and he originally built the car, and then I've obviously got it. Went nuts after that. So yeah, but he chopped it down, and then I put the paint job. We go with a voodoo theme with the work on it. I got a cousin Daniel who's got a 32 Roadster, and with the same theme, with the voodoo theme. So we got the voodoo racing, and we have a bit of fun. Yeah, so it'll be good.
Awesome car, mate. Thanks so much for talking to us, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
We'll have a look at what I found here, viewers. An absolutely sensational looking 69 fastback Mustang owned by Ken Harrison here. Ken, beautiful car. Tell us all about it.
Glenn, this was an absolute find. We actually dragged this out of a little single car garage down in St Kilda. Hadn't been registered since 1984, and was actually one of the original presidents of the club's wife's car. But it had 4 owners and been through the ropes. And what you see today is 10 years in the happening.
And did you do much of the work yourself on the car?
Yeah, I'm actually a motor mechanic by trade. We stripped the car down, I got it home, stripped it back to the bare rails and body shell, and We started on it and completely restored this car from the absolute ground up. Underneath it, chrome, stainless steel, 316 stainless, absolutely sensational car. Big block, 390 FE, genuine.
So it's a genuine Mach 1 390 S code.
Absolutely, 390 S code. There was only about 4,500 of these cars off the rack. It was the last I think, of the 69 models with the 390s in it, and it's an absolute piece of work.
And what's she drive like?
Fast. It's got some serious grunt under the bonnet. So I've actually got a 302 as well, and it's an absolutely amazing thing, the difference between a small block car and a big block car. We've actually got this on camera, driving down the road, and it sounds just like Eleanor.
Well, they say there's no substitute for cubic inches, and that's obviously true.
Absolutely. You cannot pass a large cube motor. It's just an amazing piece of work.
Great stuff, Ken. Well, beautiful car, and thanks so much for talking to us, mate. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Not a problem. Fantastic, and fantastic show on TV with Gasolene, and hope all goes well today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn.
And don't forget, viewers, to look up the all-new Shannons Club. Shannons Club is a huge site. It's like a hub for enthusiasts. You jump on there, you can start your own garage, put pictures of your cars up there, stories of your cars, videos, you name it. You'll see people like myself on there, Jim Richards. Click on our garages and check out some of our machines and some of our past machines. It's an incredible site, it's growing every day, so get onto it and have a ball.
We're the Gasolene twins, hope you're enjoying the show.
The fantastic show bags that Vince brings over from WA. Tell us what we got, Vince. Thanks, Cap.
Well, we're at the Mustang Motorsport stand, and there's a heap of beautiful looking current model Mustangs here. Craig, what's the latest in the Mustang Motorsport stable?
Well, I think the hottest hit Mustang at the moment would have to be the new 213 Shelby. It's quite a change from the earlier model. They've done some fascia updates, lighting changes, and put a big 351 back in it. So it's supercharged, obviously. It's rated at 650 horsepower on the Ford brochures, but everywhere you read about it, it's got 662 horsepower, so I'm not sure where that's come from.
And your new race car, is that one of those?
Yeah, I've decided to race one of those since Ford's pulled something straight out of the box that's worthwhile. So, yeah, I will give that a punt and see how we go in Targa racing.
Mate, what an animal from a production vehicle point of view. That thing's going to be pretty hard to beat, isn't it?
I'm hoping it'll be the podium winner for that class, yeah, so that's what we're looking for.
Well, you've had some success in Targa-style events before, haven't you?
Yeah, we did second in '98, third in 2001, and usually a top 10 contender.
Tell me, how's the new Boss Mustang going? I know that they're down from the Shelby side of things, 444 horsepower, but still an animal of a car, aren't they? I've heard of guys putting like a drag-style radial tyre on those things and running 11 second quarter miles, totally stock.
Yeah, they do that, yep. They, that's for sure. Quite a good car. The people that have owned them just love them because they scream, those things. They've got the high revving, 7,500 revs for that Coyote motor, and they're producing 444 horsepower naturally aspirated, so it's a pretty good car.
Well, viewers, if you're looking for any type of late model Mustang, or Craig's got quite a few other different types of vehicles as well, whether it be, you know, your Camaros or your Corvettes, all of those sort of vehicles. Yep. But today is a Mustang day, so if you're after something special, you know where to go, Mustang Motorsport. Thanks for talking to us, Craig.
Yeah, we'd love to see you there.
Well, I found a very nice 66 Mustang coupe here, viewers. Looks pretty factory, but it's got a fair bit of muscle involved as well. Owned by Robert Dimasulo here. Mate, tell us about the car.
It's a 1966 coupe Mustang with a 347 Windsor, 31 spine top loader, and tubbed rear end.
Tell us about the engine. Tell us about the internals and what sort of power she makes.
It probably makes about 500 horsepower. It's got Striker kit, 347, SRP pistons, Crowler cam, aluminium heads. This is the good stuff from Rocket Industries to make it happen.
Awesome. And trans and rear end?
Top loader, 31 spline, and 9-inch with 411s.
And it looks like it's got fairly wide rubber on the rear, mate. How do you fit it in there?
Yeah, we got it tubbed. Put the 4-link coilovers, tubbed it up, so fits in there nice. Yeah. 17 by 9.5 with a 295 45 17 tyre. Yeah.
Do you do any racing in the car at all down the strip, or mainly cruising?
Nah. I try and cruise, but I don't even do much of that.
You'd be too worried about getting stone chips on this thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but it's all over now. So we showed a little bit, and now it's time to drive it.
And how long did it take for the build, the entire build of the car?
The entire build took about 18 years. So,
wow.
Yeah, it was a long time. Just waiting for people, but in the end, result's really good, so I'm happy.
Well, I've got to say, mate, it must have been definitely worth the wait. The car's absolutely spectacular, and thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate it.
No
Love
worries.
your show.
Thank you. Well, there's a beautiful 66 Mustang GT convertible here that I just have to show you. It's owned by this man here, Gary Everitt. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because it's my dad. I had to give Dad a go, had to show you his car. It's an absolute plum, and I've been enjoying driving this thing around with the roof down on a sunny day. Dad, you better tell him about the car.
Oh, just a car I've actually brought off a guy in Geelong about 12 months ago, and I've always wanted a convertible, and it's it's just a stock standard type vehicle with a the standard running gear, but it's just a nice summer car for sure. Yeah.
And there's not too many around in vintage Burgundy, is there?
No, it was a pretty rare sort of option, especially with a GT option. It's just a pretty honest sort of a colour and a nice looking car. Yeah, for sure.
And what are some of the options that the GTs actually have? You better tell the viewers.
Oh, well, they have a heavier front sway bar, an inch sway bar instead of a 5/8 sway bar. They have disc front brakes, the GT stripes, the GT driving lights mainly, and this one has the painted interior as well, so it's got a good little combination.
And of course, the important criteria of the GT model is actually it has to be an A-code 4-barrel engine, doesn't it?
That's right, yeah. The A-code's obviously got 225 horsepower instead of 195 or thereabouts, so it just gives it a little bit more torque and revs up a little bit better for sure, yeah.
Have you been driving the car around much lately?
Not a lot, because the weather's been very cold and miserable, but now the weather's picking up a lot. Hopefully we can both use it quite a bit.
So if the weather's not too flash, you can take the Camaro out still, can't you?
That's right. It's good to have the Camaro as well. I like the GM product as well, but I've always been a Ford man at heart, and I've always wanted a convertible like this since I was 18. Unfortunately, it's a long wait.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Dad, and the viewers, and I'll be round on Monday to pick up the keys for this thing, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Here we are out at Calder Park on the inaugural Mustang Motorsport track day. Got a range of beautiful cars out here, and everybody's out just having a wonderful time, going as fast as they possibly can and safely, obviously, in their Mustangs. And we have a few competitors out here that want to show their machines up. So we've got a Camaro, BMW, Nissan 350Z, and a few others that can join along that are part of our group who want to really try their cars out. So it's been a fun day. First time with the new 213 Shelby that I've been wanting to get onto the track, put it through its paces, see what it's going to be like for Targa Tasmania and the events that we've got coming up for it. So far I've had it out there and run it with a stability control to see what that sort of does to the way it drives, and it's quite impressive. I've actually really excited about this car, and I'm looking forward to really putting it on show and giving it a run. Today we're actually doing this track day for a couple of reasons. One, for the club guys to give them a run in their cars, and also the money that comes towards for the entry of the day is going to Boys Brigade. So we're trying to help the young youth in their walk in life and make them as good young leaders, and also Calder Park has contributed to that as well. So we just want to thank Calder Park, Ian, for spending the time, who's the director here, and these boys get to go for a ride, so maybe they might have some comments after. Stefan?
Yeah, good.
Did you enjoy that?
Great fun.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a race car before?
No.
Okay, so what was the first thing, that really impressed you?
The pull that it had on you.
Okay, so the acceleration?
Yeah, acceleration pull.
Okay, anything else that's really scared you?
Probably going around the corner.
Go around the corner, okay. Was it going a bit fast for you, was it?
No, perfect.
All right, well, thanks for coming for a ride.
Well, thank you for
Good to have you here. As I mentioned a bit earlier, we talked about the stability control in this new car. The new Shelby was made for the track, and this particular car's got the track pack and all the good gear for that. And something I've noticed when I'm driving it, I didn't realise how to program the traction control and the stability control on the racetrack. So it's sort of like I guess bunny hops is the explanation I can give it, where it transverses the pressure or the braking to the front and the rear on a corner when you're driving it spiritedly. So I've switched it off, and we'll see what happens with the next run, and I'll come and give you a bit of an update.
Well, here we are back at Rocket Industries once again, so let's go inside and take a look around.
Another great range at Aeroflow is our fabricated tanks. Starting from these fuel cells that are available in raw or black anodized, these are also anodized inside fully for compatibility with E85 and alcohol use. They've also got a bunch of accessories like this remote filler and splash tray. Another great product from Aeroflow are these washer tanks. Available to suit Holdens and Fords, they're fabricated aluminium, and they can either be highly polished or black anodized. Now we've also got universal fitments so that you can use them in the engine bay to suit other applications as well, like water spray or methanol injection. Another great product from Aeroflow are these surge tanks. Now they're available again in black anodized, inside and out for use with alcohol and E85, or in highly polished. We've got a bunch of Dash 8 ORB fittings all around the tank so that you can use them for multi-configuration purposes. They can be used as fuel tanks, surge tanks, water tanks, recovery tanks, EFI applications, and even fabricated power steering tanks to suit Holdens.
To download your free copy of the Rocket Industries and Aeroflow Performance Parts catalogues, go to the sponsor section at the Gasolene website. Click on the links and download away. With over 650 combined pages of performance parts and accessories, you're sure to find everything you need for your car.
You've been watching Gasolene.
Well, you can always rely on this bloke here, Joe Collegia, to bring a car along to this event. He's got a pretty good collection, that's for sure. But guess what he's bought this time? A genuine 429 Boss fastback Mustang, 69. Pretty rare car, these things, aren't they, mate?
They are, Glenn. There was about 859 of these made. I think there was 13 Raven Blacks and probably about 530 in 1970, but the 69s were the most sought after. So Rob Nell did it, Rob Darnell. So we finished it, debuted it at the Nationals in April up in Newcastle and brought it here. This is the first time here in Melbourne, so a great car.
Awesome, and
probably my favourite.
Iconic engine too, that 429 Boss. They were effectively bought out for NASCAR racing at the end of the day. And 425 horsepower factory. I've heard that they actually had a little bit more horsepower than that. How does it feel to drive?
It's really easy to drive, very light on the steering, but you know it's the whole thing is suffocating because we've left it obviously stock, but it wouldn't take too much tweaking and it'd blow your brains out. Absolutely.
So the car's effectively factory standard concourse, isn't it?
100%. 100%. So if you look through it, it's fully all matching number car. Rob took about nearly 2 years to do it. So being stock standard, it's there is no note, but she is better than what it was when it came out.
I remember seeing it once before, and the boys at Rob Nell Concourse mentioned that they'd even tried to replicate things like where they used to hang the bonnets in the factory. They'd have a bit of wire in there, and they actually had a little bit of overspray in that area to replicate the way they were built.
Yeah, they did it. We've got some paint streaks underneath, so completely matched it really well. But they look just awesome in the Raven Black. It's a great colour. So yeah, it's been good for everyone to see. There's not many of these in Australia, and fantastic.
Awesome car, mate. I'm very, very envious of you, and thanks for talking to us today.
Excellent. Nice to see you again, pal.
You too, mate.
Great show as always, pal.
Thank you.
Righto.
Well, I found an absolutely immaculate 66 Hertz Shelby replica here, owned by Phil Crack. Mate, beautiful car. Tell us all about it.
It's a 66 replica, as you said. It's basically based on the original, so it's got 306 horsepower with a 289 hypo engine. It's got a few mod cons in it. It's got air conditioning, power steering, a few things like that to make it nice and easy to drive. It's right-hand drive, of course. So it's a driver, but it's a lovely car.
And tell us about the Hertz cars. What's the story behind them? Tell us a bit of history on them there.
Yeah, well, actually what happened is Shelby made, I think it's 2002, two were demos, I think, made them for the Hertz rental car company. First 100 were, I think, manuals, but they certainly blew a few gearboxes, and then they went to auto. A lot of rumours about they pulled engines out, swapped engines over, raced the cars and whatever, and then they'd swap the engine back and take it back.
So we're talking people that would rent these cars. They were for rental, and they could take them out and race them on a weekend, then return them, and Hertz wouldn't even know.
Well, yeah, I don't think they knew, but it's certainly a nice little engine, and used to go well around the racetracks.
And how long have you had the car for?
I've had it for about 18 months now, so I had it for a little while, and as I said, I do use it, love using it, love going for weekend drives, and love going to shows like this.
So was the car a ground-up rebuild?
Yeah, total ground-up rebuild. So a body was brought from America, made in the Philippines for me under the specs that I wanted. It took over about 12 months to build, and yeah.
So I suppose the key is for them to find a really good, honest shell, not something that's full of rust.
No, yeah, you certainly make sure you've got to have a good shell, you've got to have a good base to work from. But there's so many things available now too. If something's not quite right, they can certainly fix it.
You can buy just about every nut and bolt. So the whole drivetrain, everything is brand spanking nut and bolt.
Everything is brand new, yep.
Fantastic, mate. Well, it's a beautiful looking car, and I love that black. And black is pretty tricky to keep clean, isn't it?
Yeah, I've learned a few lessons and whatever, but I think I've got it down pat now. But yeah, no, look, black's the best colour, I think, but you've got to make sure you look after it.
Absolutely, mate. Well, you certainly do a good job of that, and it's great talking to you. Beautiful car. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Glenn. Cheers.
Now here's an event to mark on your calendar for 2013, the Gasolene Muscle Car Expo. There's never been an event like this one, where some of Australia's very best concourse American and Australian muscle cars come together under one roof. Also featured by special invitation, barn finds, street machines, special interests and 50s classics. If you have a concourse standard muscle car or any vehicle that you think might be eligible to enter this event, then contact Michael Curson via the Gasolene website. This one is going to be huge. And now available on DVD, Gasolene Season 1. Call Michael Curson on the number below or check out the Gasolene website for details on purchasing this collection. And remember viewers, if you want to see past Gasolene episodes, go to shannons.com.au. Click on the Gasolene link and enjoy. And remember, this is a whole new season of Gasolene with new episodes every Tuesday night, 8:30 PM, Australia-wide.
Gasolene is proudly brought to you by Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts, and the following sponsors. I'm Michael Curson, producer, creator of Gasolene. Hope you enjoy.